Om Sai Ram. In the previous episode, we discussed about Sri Swami's leelas in the Himalayas. Today again, I am going to share a story with you all where Sri Swami did a miracle again in the Himalayas. He gave shelter to a deer. Yes, an animal like a deer. Just like a tiger got relieved by Baba's grace in Shirdi, similarly, this leela was also performed by Sri Swami with a deer. In the Himalayan region, another miracle took place. Shree Swami Samarth Maharaj was sitting under a tree, fully absorbed in Atmanand. Atmanand is a mental state or meditative state where the soul receives immense joy and bliss resulting from divine contemplation. This state of mind or this state of meditation is called Atmanand. So Sri Swami Samarth was in that state of mind while meditating under a tree. He was in bliss supreme. So near and around him, some deer were camping and jumping joyously. They were grazing. It was a beautiful atmosphere, serene weather. Everything was absolutely nice. In the meantime, some hunters came there to kill the deer. Seeing those hunters, the deer became aware of the danger to their lives, and out of fear, they came to Sri Swami for shelter because they saw the hunters approaching them. Sri Swami Samarth fondled these deers, seeking shelter under him with great love. In the meanwhile, the hunters arrived. The hunters fired guns in the air to make these deers panicky so that they run here and there and they could shoot them and kill them. However, the deer did not panic since they had got the assurance of protection from Sri Swami. The hunters became angry and started abusing Sri Swami. Then Sri Swami Maharaj picked up two small stones and threw the same at the hunters. The abuse did not have any impact on Sri Swami Samarth, but he did this act of throwing two stones at the hunters, very small stones. The hunters were petrified and stood there like motionless statues. They were frozen. The hunters then realized their mistakes. They repented and prayed to Sri Swami for forgiveness. The Swami then showered his kind grace to the hunters and advised them to maintain love towards animals. Out of those deers, there was a male and a female deer, and two young ones. They had two babies with them. Sri Swami Samarth awakened the past life of this dear couple and reminded them, "Oh, you were the Brahmin couple of Ganagapur in your past life. The female deer was your virtuous woman in your past life. You had a prosperous life with a house. Since you had afflicted pain to saints, you got this animal life. Since there was still some merit in your balance, you got my darshan in this life." When the dear couple remembered their past life, they prayed for the forgiveness and prostrated at the lotus feet of Sri Swami. Sri Swami blessed them with kind grace and said, "At the proper time, you will take birth as human beings. You will also get my darshan in the southern direction, in a southern place. Maybe in Akkalkot, or who knows, maybe in Shirdi. Let's see in the future episodes." And also, just like Baba had favored a tiger, Sri Swami Samarth also favored tigers. While dwelling in the Himalayan region again, sitting in a cave, Sri Swami Samarth would hold philosophical discussions with other ascetics who used to be present there. At that time, two tigers sitting at the entrance of the cave were keenly listening to the discussions. Listening to the speech of Sri Swami Samarth would charm all the ascetics present there. By then, the kind glance of Sri Swami fell on the two tigers sitting at the entrance and listening. He spoke to the tigers. Scholars, why are you sitting at the entrance? You ride on an elephant and go on obtaining certificates of victory. To this, the tigers replied, Maharaj, by your kind darshan, we have been blessed. Kindly be merciful and tell us as to why we got this life of tigers. So these tigers, they were scholars in their past birth, and they used to get certificates of victory. They were Brahmins, they used to ride elephants. Then Shree Swami Samarth spoke, in your past life, you amassed knowledge by learning, but you also became very arrogant and harassed saints and Brahmins alike to such an extent that you even managed to get victory letters by defeating them. Your arrogance has given you this life of a tiger. Then both of you lay down on ground. Then both the tigers lay down and they started pleading Shree Swami Samarth. Then Shree Swami Samarth said, in this tiger's life, there is no movement. You will not be able to make spiritual progress unless you have human body. You will be born as Brahmins again in your next life. And then by gaining knowledge and rendering devotional service, you can get liberated. That was the blessing that he gave to the tigers. So the saints have equal mercy. The way they are merciful towards humans, in the similar way, they are compassionate and merciful towards animals like deer, tigers, which also we saw in Shree Saibaba's leelas in the Satcharitra, how he granted liberation to the tiger in that life itself. That tiger didn't have to take birth as human, but in this case, they were born as Brahmins in their next life and they were liberated. So this is the mercy of the saints. In the next episode, we are going to learn about the compassion of Shree Swami towards Brahmin lepers. Till then, Om Sai Ram.